Valmiki Ramayana, Ayodhya Kanda, Book number 2, Sarga 75, Roman numerals LXXV 75. The Abjuration. A while he lay, he rose at length, and slowly gathering sense and strength, with angry eyes which tears bedewed, this miserable queen he viewed, and spake with keen reproach to her before each lord and minister. No lust have I for kingly sway, my mother I no more obey. Not of this consecration knew, which Dasharatha kept in view. I with Shatrughna all the time was dwelling in a distant clime. I knew of Rama's exile not, that hero of the noble thought. I knew not how fair Sita went, and Lakshman forth to banishment. Thus high-souled Bharat, mid the crowd, lifted his voice and cried aloud. Kaushalya heard, she raised her head, and quickly to Sumitra said, Bharat, Kaikeyi's son is here, hers whose fell deeds I loathe and fear. That youth of foresight's keen I fain would meet and see his face again. Thus to Sumitra spake the dame, and straight to Bharat's presence came. With altered mien, neglected dress, trembling and faint with sore distress, Bharat Shatrughna by his side, to meet her toward her palace hied. And when the royal dame they viewed, distressed with dire solicitude, said, fallen senseless on the ground, about her neck their arms they wound. The noble matron prostrate there, embraced with tears the weeping pair, and with her load of grief oppressed, to Bharat then these words addressed. Now all is thine, without a foe, this realm for which thou longest so. Ah, soon Kaikeyi's ruthless hand has won the empire of the land, and made my guiltless Rama flee, dressed like some lonely devotee. Herein what profit has the queen, whose eye delights in havoc seen? Me also, me 'twere surely good to banish to the distant wood, to dwell amid the shades that hold my famous son with limbs like gold. Nay, with the sacred fire to guide, will I, Sumitra, by my side, myself to the drear wood repair, and seek the son of Raghu there. This land which rice and golden corn, and wealth of every kind adorn, car, elephant, and steed and gem. She makes thee lord of it and them. With taunts like these, her bitter tongue the heart of blameless Bharat wrung, and dire pangs his bosom tore. Then, when the lancet probes are sore, with troubled senses all astray, prone at her feet he fell and lay. With loud lament a while he plained, and slowly strength and sense regained. With suppliant hand to hand applied, he turned to her who wept and sighed, and thus bespake the queen whose breast, with sundry woes, was sore distressed. Why these reproaches, noble dame? I, knowing not, am free from blame. Thou knowest well what love was mine for Rama, chief of Raghu's line. Oh, never be his darkened mind to Scripture's guiding lore inclined, by whose consent the prince who led the good, the truthful hero fled. May he obey the vilest lord, offend the sun with act abhorred, and strike a sleeping cow who lent his voice to Rama's banishment. May the good king, who all befriends, and like his sons the people tends, be wronged by him who gave consent to noble Rama's banishment. On him that king's injustice fall, who takes as lord a sixth of all, nor guards neglectful of his trust, his people as a ruler must. The crime of those who swear to fee at holy rites some devotee, and then the promised gift deny, be his who wild the prince should fly. Be his who willed the prince should fly. When weapons clash and heroes bleed, with elephant and harnessed steed, ne'er like the good be his to fight, whose heart allowed the princess flight. Though thought with care by one expert, may he the Vedas text pervert, with impious mind on evil bent, whose voice approved the banishment. May he with traitor lips reveal whate'er he promised to conceal, and abroad his friend's offense, betrayed by generous confidence. No wife of equal lineage born, the wretch's joyless home adorn. Nor may he do one virtuous deed, and dying see no child succeed. When in the battle's awful day fierce warriors stand in dread array. Let the base coward turn and fly, and smitten by the foe men die. Long may he wander, rags his wear, doomed in his hand a skull to bear, and like an idiot beg his bread, who gave consent when Rama fled. His sin who holy rites forgets, asleep when shows the sun and sets. A load upon his soul shall lie, whose will allowed the prince to fly. His sin who loves his master's dame, his kindler of destructive flame, his who betrays his trusting friend, shall mingled all on him descend. By him no reverence due be paid to blessed God or parted shade. May sire and mother's sacred name in vain from him obedience claim. Ne'er may he go where dwell the good, nor win their fame and neighborhood, but lose all hopes of bliss today, who willed the prince should flee away. May he deceive the poor and weak, who look to him and comfort seek. Betray the suppliants who complain, and make the hopeful hope in vain. Long may his wife his kiss expect, and pine away in cold neglect. May he his lawful love despise, and turn on other dames his eyes. Full on forbidden joys intent, whose will allowed the banishment. His sin who deadly poison throws, to spoil the water as it flows. Lay on the wretch its burden dread, who gave consent when Rama fled. Thus with his words he undeceived Kaushalya's troubled heart, who grieved for son and husband reft away. Then prostrate on the ground he lay. Him as he lay half senseless there, freed by the mighty oaths he sware, Kaushalya by her vow distressed, with melancholy words addressed. Anew, my son, this sorrow springs, to rend my heart with keener stings. These awful oaths which thou hast sworn, my breast with double grief have torn. Thy soul and faithful Lakshman's too are still, thank heaven, to virtue true. True to thy promise thou shalt gain the mentions which the good obtain. Then to her breast that youth she drew, whose sweet fraternal love she knew, and there in strict embraces held the hero as her tears outwelled. And Bharat's heart grew sick and faint with grief, and oft renewed complaint. and all his senses were distraught by the great woe that in him wrought. Thus he lay and still bewailed, with sighs and loud lament, till all his strength and reason failed. The hours of night were spent. Wow, absolutely beautiful. Footnotes 184.1 Suryamcha Pratimehata Adversus solem mingat. What is that? Mingat. An offense expressly forbidden by the laws of Manu. The laws of Manu. You see? Absolutely beautiful translation by Mr. Ralph Griffith from 17th century poetic British to from Sanskrit to poetic British. Beautiful, absolutely amazing architecture of the words. That's what we need. Description of God's pastimes when he walks this earth as a royalty, as the king, as the prince, as the warrior. That's what we want. And in this chapter, Bharat is pretty much grief stricken, and he's saying whoever did that, whoever consented or counseled for Rama to be banished to all kinds of ill fortunes, all kinds of ill fortunes be his, you know. That's what Bharata is telling here to Kaushalya, the mother of Rama. And he, of course, he rebuked his own mother, Kaikeyi, the third and the youngest wife of Dasharatha, the most beautiful one, the most attractive one, that Dasharatha was captivated and enslaved by her beauty and her devotion. Let's not forget that Kaikeyi, she saved Dasharatha's ass on the battlefield when he was about to be killed by the demons. She saved his ass, and then Dasharatha promised her anything she wanted, to give her 2 boons, anything she wanted. So Kaikeyi saved through her virtues. She was able to save Dasharatha. And now when the time came for her to ask 2 boons, they were the most extreme boons. And because of that, now everybody is grief-stricken because her boons, the thing that she was asking for, was too much to bear. She wanted to send Rama to banishment, to exile, Exodus, Ayodhya, Odus, ancient kingdom, ancient Hindu kingdom, actually Vedic Aryan kingdom. Hindu word never existed in Vedic vocabulary. It's a newly invented word, stupid word, Hindu. And everybody who calls themselves Hindu, they are all brainwashed about the true origin of the word Hindu. There is no Hindu in the Vedas. Never existed. It's all Vedic Aryan, ancient Vedic Aryan. So This is Ramayana. This is Ramayana. Beautiful, absolutely, absolutely beautiful. So many things to talk about. And the whole point is to talk about this rather than all kinds of garbage out there in the news, in the entertainment, in sports, in all kinds of nonsense, meditating on all kinds of temporary things that have no benefit. In the next life, when you get a birth as a dog, all this nationality, nationalism, all this gender politics and racism won't matter to you. You're gonna be a dog. You're gonna be a dog, and all this political stuff won't matter a bit. So, the eternal benefit soul can get is remembering God, Rama, and in this way get better situations in the next life to keep remembering. Jai Shri Ram, Hail Ram, Roma Victa, Victory to Ram. Ciao.